I'm making this video. Through Our Lady, through our Lord, we prevail. I'm making this video because the organizing against us is getting very bad. The people organizing against me have done enough to drive a wedge between my family and myself. They broke up my youngest daughter's mother and myself. They've turned my oldest daughter against me. Somebody pushed a mediator between her and I. They kept controlling her accounts and everything. And now I don't hear from them because I don't want to talk to the mediator anymore. Whoever this person is, I don't know. It's some transgender guy in Southeast Asia. And, I don't know what this is. I know for a while my oldest daughter was being bullied, like my youngest. I don't know if this was so she has less online presence or not. I don't know. I know I a few times told her to limit her presence online, don't show her picture, and use a lot of security protocol. But then this transgender person just took everything over. But this organizing against us is destroying our life. It's went to simulating between the properties we've lived: Midwest Capital Management LLC, Countryway Townhomes LLC, Premier Property Management Inc., Premier Real Estate 1, Premier Properties 1, Premier Capital Management, Premier 3. Let's see. Auburn, Econo Lodge, The Crossing. I guess that pretty much covers everything. But it explains why, certain people, the complex we live, they follow us around. They always pop up at the store, even if we go as far away as Bay City, Midland, Tuscola County, Sand Lake County. All of a sudden people will pop up, and that's so they can keep us in their simulator. That's what I think. And also so they can stalk us and bully us. And I'm of sane mind. Given we're a little overwhelmed, and we're tired of people. They're trying to sabotage my claim. Somebody has installed some kind of software or something between me and the intake center so that they're not receiving my documents. And it's the same crap they pulled with MDHHS. Now we can't even upload documents to MDHHS, so I don't have hearing rights. I don't have rights of appeal. Nothing. And we've caught it more than I can count on my hands. I've caught these people. Many times Black Hebrew Israelites, but not always. Sometimes it seems like some people are pretending they're them, but it's always from the black community in Saginaw, specifically. And I don't know why, because we don't have anything to do with the black community. A couple of my family members go to a black church. That's it. But it continues to happen. And like I said, they're ruining my health. They're taking my phone off the tower, so I can't get a hold of the VA to get my consults, to get my imaging, my tests. They're calling, and because we've been hacked in addition to being simulated, so they know a lot of my stuff, usernames, passwords, biographic data. and what is that called? Personally identifiable information. They call and change my appointments. Um, and they cause trouble trying to cause me to get arrested. They've absolutely ruined my life. Now I know to a certain degree Constellus and Triple Canopy are behind this. A few of the African Americans that I work with, I don't know what their problem is. But an injury complaint later and some contracting management agency investigations later, apparently they decided to target me. That's where I think the money comes from. But I'm required by law to report fraud, inaccuracies, over-reporting of expenses, and corruption on contract. I love my country, and I love my service and the service I contracted with, so I will report wrongdoing. That being said, they are destroying everything. Our appliances, our gadgets, our income. People are trying to probe my car to see the weaknesses in security, weaknesses in surveillance, so they can vandalize my car like they did to our Saab. And they did to our PT Cruiser. And, HUD-VASH, they've never done anything about this. Saginaw, Lieutenant Alida E. Lutch Medical Center, HUD-VASH have never done one thing. Matter of fact, they're the ones that recommended we move here. I didn't apply to the place we are now. Somebody did, and we were pushed and pushed. You have to move out now, your funding is running out. But the fallen and wounded fund that we were dealing with, because we were homeless, they didn't have a problem. They're like, as long as you are trying to move forward, we got your back, and remember us. Well, people at HUD-VASH tried to push and push and push. You got to go now, your funding. So one of them made a phone call, and our funding did end. One phone call. HUD-VASH forced us to come back here to near the same township where all of the stuff happened for 5 years. I don't even remember the count for the money that was lost through vandalism, through break-ins, through destruction of private property, through tampering with our vehicle, through hacking stuff. I can't even. But now the subtotal, and you can't forget the money when I can't forget the money. The $2,000 to $3,000 when, even though I found out later I was also a victim of identity theft, but in addition to that, a HUD-VASH social worker promised that if I would pay expenses at the Veterans Homeless Shelter, the VA would reimburse me. They never did. And she was never prosecuted for making that promise. And when I pushed her, because they're also supposed to be fixing my vehicle, as part of a program, just to help a veteran. And then my vehicle disappeared for 2 months. I had an idea where it was, but I wasn't sure. And so I pushed somebody to tell me where it was, to give me the phone number for the mechanic, because I didn't know, exactly where it was. And so she called CPS on me. And she stopped working at the VA. They won't say she was fired. They say she no longer works here. So that could, it could go two ways. They're protecting themselves, or she just transferred. But nothing happened to her. Now me, on the other hand, because I was homeless and wasn't reimbursed, it destroyed my credit. And I had to drop out of grad school. And now the program I used to go to grad school, this is why I'm neither Trump's best critic, worst critic, or best supporter. The administration ruined a lot of low-income people's chance for grad school by ending the Grad Plus program. And people say, oh, I went to school. Well, I was in grad school. Yeah, and you could see the mediocre performance. Oh, I got all A's. Yeah, perhaps. But your academic prowess is definitely suspect. When you're going for a master's or your PhD, you don't go part-time haphazard. You fully commit to it. Anybody that says, oh, I went part-time and I'm this, well, you're the exception. Most people that go part-time, their attention is divided, especially if you're parents. And what's the whole point of going to grad school? Just to have some more initials or to be the best at something? If you're just going to get more initials, don't waste your money. Get a couple of certificates. With that being said, so all of this has put us in a very precarious situation, very dangerous, because they sabotage. These people organizing against me. I know a few of the groups and even some of the people, but nobody would do anything about it. They're more concerned about me, where we go to church, my spending habits. Hey, where are you driving around? What TV shows I watch. Whether I'm interested in this person or that person. Just stuff that it's not their business. Oh yeah, if I'm posting this video or texting with this person about this or that. I'm sick of it. And some of these people we've found around us, bullying us the past years, some of them are unregistered sex offenders. Some of them are people connected to racist groups. Some of them are parents that the CPS has child endangerment orders out. Some of these people are people who've been in prison and came out as, we'll say, sexual deviants. And then you got just your run-of-the-mill troublemakers. People that no matter what situation they're placed, they'll make trouble and try to hurt people. Especially good American families. Parents who love this country, parents who just want to, whatever within their means, earn an income, their physical means, than to do something for their children and to have a good life. And to improve their situation. When people aren't allowed to move forward in life, it tends to cause great emotional harm. And the children, when children don't see their family moving forward, it traumatizes them. My children have received trauma, especially my youngest, and I blame the Saginaw community. Of course, not all people know, but many people, yes. If people just watched that city council meeting when I was there, you saw 2 or 3 members look down at the table when I spoke. That's out of shame, but it was edited out, so you may not be able to see it unless there's somewhere in the National Archives there's a copy that's still there, which is possible. It was edited out. But they got their new building, their renovations. My child is injured on one of their playgrounds. The police refused to take a police report. Someone tries to molest me on a bus and gropes my daughter. Molestation for both. Nobody did anything. 2 police departments refused to take a report. And then one police department, which we currently live, decides to weaponize 911 and try to get me arrested, saying I made a fraudulent call, when I'm the only one that showed up to court. And they never investigated, considered that some of the people who were involved in that call against us, they are living a fake identity, including young boys and transgender men pretending to be women. I should say, not, what's the term? Preoperative transgender men pretending to be women. And the reason why they can't transition was because they were in prison. All of this caused great harm. And now we have, through not just organizing against us, I don't know why, I still don't know why. No police record, no investigation. Why are people organizing against my family? I don't know why. I still don't know why. But I believe they should be held accountable. I believe they should be punished to the fullest extent of the law. And I don't care if they're chiefs of police, if they're mayor, if they're city council senior member. I don't care. I don't care if they're a manager of a store. I don't care. I don't care if they're a level 11 social worker with the state of Michigan. I don't care. I don't care if they're involved in state civil rights complaint, taking in the civil rights office. I don't care. I don't care if it's children that bully my daughter because their parents tell them to. I don't care. If you're going to weaponize your children, maybe it's better they're in the care of the state. Then you can live what we've been threatened with for 8 years. That's the same kind of things that human traffickers do when they sell their children to pedophiles. The same stuff. I've spent enough time in Southeast Asia. I know those behaviors very well. I've come against many, many people like that. But the biggest problem is keeping us captive here. Interfering in my VA claims. Like I said, the same stuff that they would pull with social services. The same exact stuff. And I'm sick of it. And the prosecutor's office, the secretary, refusing to pass a letter to the prosecutor. Chief of Police of Buena Vista and Saginaw Townships, actually, not Saginaw Township, the city of Saginaw. That's I believe it's a city manager. I forgot his exact role. It's not technically chief of police. It's technically another hat. Kind of similar to what they did in Detroit. But nobody will do anything. The desk sergeant sent me away. Social services, they just gather all their friends from their team to turn down when I could request a hearing or an appeal. They just turn it down, refusing to meet in person, refusing to do video, just in the end, so they can find and agree with every single piece of evidence from their own people and throw mine out. And not able to repeat to me one single piece of supporting evidence that I had in a 36-page document. I believe it was 36. Oh, maybe it was more. Maybe I forget. Anyway.
Sit down.
And people want to paint me that somebody in my family even said, better watch out because people may say that you're mentally ill if you keep fighting back. Needless to say, I don't speak to this person. If that's how they're going to treat family, then shame on them. Even I believe even God is very harsh on people who are abusive or mistreat or let families suffer. I believe that at judgment, God doesn't take those things lightly. Because tradition teaches us that Even before the soul leaves heaven, God, the Holy Trinity, discusses with that soul who their family will be, what they're about. And then that soul is sent down. So if you betray family in this life and you don't try to make peace, I believe that God, of course, He has mercy through Christ. Through Christ, through His stripes, we are healed. Our sins are forgiven. Yet still, things are not just forgotten. Especially the people who choose evil purposely, without any reason at all. You know, you could break out of a pattern, you know something. You may struggle with it. All of us, you know, we have our things we struggle with. Smoking, caffeinated coffee. That's something that took me a long time. It took me a while to get over smoking, and then just one day, it just, enough. But it's better to have a struggle with something and to always have to remind yourself to make peace and to build bridges, and then to always tear them down. So it's just a matter of perspective. But the evil that's happened to my youngest daughter and I, it's absolutely unconscionable. And the fact that so many powers that be let it happen. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of what's happened to my family. I'm sick of being held in captivity. That's what it is. And in poverty. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people trying any way they can to screw with our benefits, screw with my rating, screw with me bringing my businesses back. Can't bring a business back without money. And that's how they disable us, just like they disabled President Trump and his allies. But I'm not President Trump, and I'm neither his ally nor his critic. I look at pragmatism in the gospel. No, I'm not the best Christian. But I look at pragmatism in the gospel. That's the only thing that guides me. And a just anger at what's happened to my family.